Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we're going to be discussing a case that recently happened in Florida. And I'd really like to discuss this case with you because, as I've discussed in many other types of cases like this, it highlights how online predators operate, the process of grooming, exploiting vulnerable individuals, especially their mental health. You know, forming some sort of bond, but then completely exploiting that. And then, it's just so devastating. So I want to highlight that today. Thank you so much all for being here. Please like and share so others can also find this information. This content is, of course, for adults only and for educational purposes only. I do also have to mention something before I start, which would be, I've made a little slide for us even. Victim blaming is not appropriate. There's even a spelling mistake on it, right? So let's not victim blame. I know that in this case, when it gets to trial, oh my word, I think the defense, I think they are going to victim blame to the max. So we better brace ourselves for that because that's sad. But victim blaming can discourage survivors from seeking help, right? If they see how people react to this in a negative way towards the victim and blame them, it would discourage others, right? So it also minimizes mental health challenges. And in this case, let's remember that no one's mental health struggles justify exploitation or violence. The responsibility lies with the accused. So yeah, we're putting a spotlight on that. And predators, as we know, often exploit the vulnerabilities of victims that they seek out online. And in this case, it's no different. This case that we're going to look at now, this guy, he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but oh my goodness, he sought out this victim. He spoke to her for 2 years. He basically lured her over, coerced her, and took full advantage of her. Okay, so to the victim's loved ones, my goal is to share this case respectfully, to raise awareness about mental health and online safety. Education is key to help others avoid similar tragedies. We want to hold the accused accountable. I want to see justice for this victim. And man, just know that this case, of course, comes with a trigger warning, okay? It does involve themes of, we have to censor for YouTube, self-deletion and ideations. It's quite a dark, very heavy, sad topic. And of course, all the online activity and all of that as well. Sarah, thank you for being a member for 3 months. You said, thank you, G, for all you do. I'm quickly going to play a clip for you just to give you an overview. And then what we're going to do is get into the probable cause affidavit because that's where all the information is. It's 13 pages long. And thank you to Grizzly Cat for obtaining that for us.
New documents reveal what brought FDLE investigators to these woods in Marion County. That's now a crime scene. Investigators say they found multiple attempted charges to Sonia Exelby's card from Solvers Wolf's roadside assistance. Dwain Hall is the company's sole employee. Hall told investigators Exelby tried to get roadside assistance, but when her card didn't go through, he never helped her. But quickly, his story changed, later admitting to investigators he's had an online relationship with Exelby for roughly 2 years, where they discussed bondage, and her desire to have someone kill her. Investigators say they searched Exelby's Airbnb in Marion County and found receipts in the trash for October 10th, all charges to Hall's card, showing Hall purchased a rope, gun cleaner, and a shovel. Purchases, investigators say, were all made just before the suspect admitted to picking up Sonia Exelby at the Gainesville airport.
Where did he buy those items? Walmart. Yes, literally.
Hall says he had sex with Exelby, but he says she agreed to bring him $4,000 in cash. Instead, she gave him $1,200 from her card. He told investigators he was upset. FDLE recovered video off of Hall's phone that he recorded of Exelby, who investigators described as having multiple bruises, abrasions to her face and neck, visibly crying. Investigators say Hall asked on the video how she would want to die. She hesitated and said to be stabbed. Investigators found messages Exelby is believed to have sent to her friend on a gaming app that FDLE says shows Hall was controlling her, that she was afraid and made a mistake. FDLE says Hall's phone records took them to the wooded area in Marion County.
You heard that? The victim said once she had gotten there from the UK to Florida, and she was in this Airbnb with this guy, she had managed to text a friend to reach out and say that she's scared, that she'd made a mistake. So at that point, yeah, this guy, no wonder. I mean, he's been charged with first-degree murder, and there's a lot of premeditation involved as well.
Off of Southwest 30th Terrace, where they found a grave and later remains belonging to Exelby. Now, investigators say Hall later messaged a friend from Ohio on Facebook telling him he was shipping him a knife and a bracelet. Investigators recovered that knife and says the blood on it belonged to Exelby. He's been charged with murder and kidnapping.
And other charges. Okay, so we're going to go through all of that. I want to now bring up the probable cause affidavit. So let's quickly do that. Okay, so instead of my usual presentation, I've got picture slides for you, of course, so that you can follow along. But really, all the information is in this probable cause affidavit. It is lengthy and detailed. And my goodness, this guy, he's going down. I mean, this is another one of those really dumb but frightening criminals who thought he wouldn't get caught. Like he was telling a friend through Facebook Messenger why he thinks that he won't get caught. So he gives him 3 reasons why he thinks that he's going to get away with this and all of that. We'll get to that. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'll put this picture slide at the bottom here. This is the victim. Shame. Also, her friend had posted on Facebook, "My whole world is still missing. Sonia Exelby has been missing since Friday. Sonia is such a vulnerable person, is really struggling with her mental health. We believe she got on a plane on Friday and made her way to Florida, to Tallahassee. Yeah, Florida, Tallahassee from the UK. We believe that she has arranged to meet someone there and has got herself into an extremely vulnerable situation." That's all I can really say on that. Light brown hair, slim. So they were saying all the details as well because her friends had reported her missing in the UK. And the Interpol got involved. The UK police got involved to reach out to people in Florida, to their law enforcement. And that is how this investigation started, right? Okay, so I have also shared in the description box, the investigation is still active. And there's still a tip line that you can call or contact if you know anything. Now, the reason I say that is when you learn more about this criminal, this alleged criminal, but yeah, it's pretty obvious when you read all this. When you learn more about him, maybe someone else has encountered him and not told their story, right? Maybe somebody still knows something about him and they haven't yet called the tip line. So if you know something or saw something, please say something, right? Okay, so on Monday, October 13th of 2025, FDLE received a request for the investigative assistance from UK authorities, United Kingdom, through Interpol regarding a missing and endangered female identified as Sonia Exelby. Exelby was reported missing from her home in Portsmouth, England. According to information from UK authorities, Exelby had known mental health diagnoses and at least one previous documented police incident from 2024, which involved a credible concern that Exelby was censoring for YouTube again, thinking about self-deletion, and planned to travel to the United States with the intention of meeting with online individuals who would be willing to kill her violently. She had possibly communicated with these individuals on Telegram. Telegram is an online application that individuals use to communicate more securely. That attempt was thwarted and Exelby received treatment. Most recently, Exelby left evidence on her computer indicating that she was again feeling that way and traveling to the United States to be possibly sexually abused, tortured, and murdered by unknown individuals living in the United States. The Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary initiated a missing person investigation and found that Exelby purchased a plane ticket and traveled to the United States of America on October 10th of 2025. Now, the date of this live stream is November 20th of 2025. She arrived at the Gainesville Regional Airport in Gainesville, Florida, the evening of October 10th of 2025. It was later determined that Exelby had a return flight scheduled for the afternoon of October 13th of 2025, but she did not check in for nor board her return flight. So there already shows us that there's an intention to return, right? She bought a return ticket as well. So unsure of what was going to happen to her. And, you know, sometimes this can be, and I'm so sorry, this is a triggering topic, I'm sure for many in this community as well. But if one is in a dark place mentally, you know, one might ideate self-deletion, or along with that sometimes would be thoughts about, well, maybe somebody else can just, and they're going to say it in this document as well, like, treat me how I feel about myself. Do you know what I mean? That somebody else can do this to me, just finish me. And that is just so sad. And you know what makes it so, it makes me angry to think that there's people out there who will literally be like, sign me up, I'll exploit that. You know what I mean? Like, this guy connected with her online and had all these vulnerable conversations and said he was trying to help her, okay? He had a mentorship, a mentoring relationship with her is what he told police. And that he would never want her to do that to herself. Oh, but then you do it to her. I mean, come on, allegedly, okay? So, after Exelby arrived at the Gainesville Regional Airport, 2 United Kingdom phone numbers that belonged to Exelby were reported as roaming briefly in the United States before being turned off. FDLE was informed that prior to flying to the United States, Exelby paid for the airline flight, an Airbnb, and transportation to the London Heathrow Airport from her bank accounts. During the time Exelby was known to be in the United States, Solver, and I always thought, like, is that a typo? Is it Solver Wolves or like Silver Wolves? No, it's literally Solver Wolves Roadside Assistance attempted to charge her Lloyd's Bank debit card on October 11th of 2025. There were 7 attempts at varying amounts within an approximately 10-minute time frame. All were declined. FDLE later found out that during the same time frame at approximately 10:30 p.m. EST, a payment for $1,200 was successfully charged to a Tesco Bank debit card belonging to Exelby. So now this guy is allegedly going to not only exploit her vulnerabilities, her mental health, everything. She's going to fly there, pay for everything. He's also going to allegedly murder her and then take her money? Okay. Now, it says that, remember the payment, it was successful. Sorry, let me just turn off all my notifications here. The payment was successful, but $1,200. FDLE contacted the owner of Solver Wolves Roadside Assistance, Dwain Hall. Guys, that's the defendant's name. It says Hall is the only current employee of this business. So let's start there already. This dumbass is like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sending that money to my own business, the one that I own. I'm the only owner of this business, but I'm going to take the money that way. Like, what in the heck, right? Joy Kahumbo said non-US citizens cannot enter without a return ticket. Thank you so much, Joy, for sharing that. That is actually true. That is actually true. I forgot about that. Non-US citizens, yeah, need a return ticket. So, yes. But we will see later that the victim in this case thought she might actually return. You know, so there was an intention to return. So let's see what else goes on. So Dwain Hall. Let me show you a picture of this guy. Hold on. There's a next slide on this presentation. Oh my word. Okay, so there's a little mini timeline as we read through this. This POS is the one who was in contact with Sonia. Hall was initially contacted on October 13th by telephone, and then on October 14th by telephone, and also in person during the missing person case, and asked about the transactions. He recalled the declined bank card transactions and claimed that an unknown woman called him in need of roadside assistance the weekend of October 10th to 12th of 2025. This woman was willing to pay him a large sum of money to respond and help her, but when her card was declined multiple times, he did not respond and assist her. Did this guy forgot about surveillance footage? He picked the victim up at the airport, okay? Yeah, he drove everywhere with her, according to what they have, this probable cause affidavit. And he's telling the police when they first spoke to him, oh yeah, I do remember something about a card. There was some woman who needed assistance with her vehicle. But then when the card declined, I just, couldn't help. Okay. So then it says he also claimed that none of the charges went through. They can literally see the charges went through. He stated multiple times that he did not know Exelby, nor did he travel to meet this unknown woman to provide her assistance. Hall could not produce any information about the woman's car, location, nor cell phone records to support his assertion that he received a call from someone during the time that he said he received the call and charged Exelby's credit cards. Talik is the company that Hall uses to process payments received through his business. FDLE sent a subpoena to Elabon, the company that manages the records for Talik. These transactions were ultimately confirmed by Talik. Talik also confirmed that the $1,200 was transferred into Hall's merchant account from one of Exelby's bank accounts. FDLE was made aware of a possible attempt from Exelby while she was in the United States to reach out to an online friend through Discord. Discord is an online application that individuals use to communicate. This message appeared to come from Exelby's account sometime on October 11th of 2025. Remember, you could see from the timeline here that Sonia arrived in Florida on October 10th of 2025. Okay, so on October 11th, she's talking to a friend on Discord, right? This message was long and at times disjointed. Now, trigger warning. Again, you know what the themes of this episode would be, involving mental health, depression, ideations, things like that, right? Okay, so the message was long and at times disjointed. It starts by saying, I'm sorry, he keeps taking my phone, he doesn't trust me with it. She then writes, he made it clear that there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I can't kill anyone. So the victim was questioning, like, maybe would I be capable of shooting him? Meaning she wants to get out of this. You know? And so she went on to write that last night was so bad and he's in the shower, but I'm locked in and there's no, it says single, but signal in the middle of nowhere. She also writes, I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew and realize this is the last thing I'll ever, I think it means, say to anyone if I don't take his offer of shooting him. He showed me about to use it. He showed me about to use it and where to aim it. She ends the message by writing, I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. Everything but some are. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up. Shame. That sounds absolutely frightening. The message indicated that the person who she was with would not let her leave, and that the same person always had a gun on him. Exelby did not name the person, but said that he told her that the only way out is for her to kill him. Additionally, in this message, Exelby said that this person made her record 3 disclaimer videos and write a letter to her family because he thought it was funny. That is a lot, right? Okay. Let me quickly see. So, Smoking Stiletto said, I definitely relate to her. The thoughts are impossible to stop, so hopefully nobody here shames her for this, right? Thank you so much for sharing that, Smoking Stilettos. And Wu-Tang Alex said, felony murder, if he robbed her, is this capital murder then? I don't know, it's first degree murder, right? So her name is Sonia Exelby. So when they say in the document Exelby, that's her last name, right? Okay, so then, this guy thought it was funny. Okay, FDLE confirmed with Airbnb that Exelby, so Sonia, did have a reservation from October 10th until October 12th of 2025 for an Airbnb located in Reddick, Florida. FDLE contacted the owner of the Airbnb, who confirmed that while it was a no-contact check-in, someone did check in and communicated utilizing Exelby's account through the Airbnb website during the reservation period. A neighbor located the Airbnb told FDLE that on October 11th, a neighbor located near the Airbnb told FDLE that on October 11th of 2025, they observed a black SUV parked at the Airbnb at approximately 3:30 p.m. The neighbor described the vehicle as having a large sticker on the back window that said emergency roadside. This vehicle appears to match Hall's vehicle. The Airbnb owner received electronic notification that Exelby checked out of the Airbnb on the morning of October 12th of 2025. The owner informed FDLE that the Airbnb location had not been cleaned since Exelby's checkout. Okay, so let me quickly see. I think I've got some pictures there. I mean, oh my word, here's this guy. You know, and he tells police that he understands depression. And we can guarantee that's what he told the victim, right? That, don't worry, I understand. But then to think what he did, and we're going to get to that. Well, I'll tell you now that the allegation is that he stabbed her 4 times. And then he was dumb enough to contact a friend on Facebook and tell the friend that he's posting a box to him in a Walmart box, posting a disguised something to his friend to keep for him for 6 months. What was that thing? The knife. The police found it. They have everything. They have so much evidence against him, okay? But yeah, here's another picture of this guy. I feel so sorry for this victim. And there's the Airbnb, okay? So even the Airbnb owners must be like, wait, what? Yeah. That must be scary to think now of the possibility of someone renting their it's a beautiful Airbnb to commit such a heinous crime, right? Shame, and she booked it and she paid for it. Okay, so the large sticker, I mean, even that, did you think no one's going to see your vehicle with your business sticker on it? Oh, my word. On October 15th of 2025, with the consent of the owner of the Airbnb, FDLE searched the Airbnb, and during that search, they located receipts in the trash that showed on October 10th of 2025 at approximately 5:47 p.m., Hall, using his bank card, purchased a paracord gun cleaner, 50 feet of rope, and loom spray at Walmart. Loom spray is deodorant. Located in Gainesville, Florida. That same day, at 5:54 p.m., Hall made another purchase at the same Walmart for a shovel, using his same bank card. Surveillance video and transaction history confirmed that Hall was the one who purchased these items. After this purchase, he then traveled to Gainesville Regional Airport. Hello, that's premeditation. He basically bought a kill and bury kit before picking the victim up from the airport. Right? Wow. So after this purchase, Hall then traveled to the Gainesville Regional Airport where he picked up Exelby, so Sonia Exelby, less than an hour later. Hall's vehicle was captured by a license plate reader at the Gainesville Regional Airport, approximately at the same time that her flight from the United Kingdom landed in Gainesville, Florida. After picking her up, they traveled together to the Airbnb in Reddick, Florida, that Sonia had reserved in her name. Also located during the search of the Airbnb was a discarded plastic cup from Dunkin' Donuts. Utilizing the label information on the cup, FDLE was able to identify the Dunkin' Donuts location where the drink was purchased and that Hall purchased the drink. The Dunkin' Donuts was located at, I've just redacted the addresses, in Gainesville, Florida for YouTube. On October 11th of 2025 at approximately 9:20 a.m., surveillance video shows Hall's vehicle in the drive-thru and a driver who fits the description of Hall paying cash for a drink. They even have his DNA on the Dunkin' Donuts cup. Oh my goodness, they have so much, right? Okay, so additionally, remnants of strawberries with container and a sandwich with container were discarded at the Airbnb. FDLE identified these items as being sold at the Petro gas station located at redacted. Surveillance video and financial records confirm that on October 11th of 2025, at approximately 12:06 p.m., Hall purchased these items. If you guys watched my recent interview with a digital forensics expert from the Matthew Paul case, yeah, can you just imagine what Detective Schroeder is thinking if he were to read this? You can already picture how this trial would be like. All the surveillance they have of this guy, his cell phone location, his purchases with his bank card, all the shady purchases, the Walmart, the shovel, the rope, the everything, the messages, 2 years worth of Discord messages, posting off a knife, Facebook messages. Oh my word, this guy's going down. He might even face the death penalty for all we know, right? Okay, so financial records and surveillance were later found by FDLE that showed Hall also made a purchase. Hell, he was making purchases all over the place at the Dollar General in Reddick, Florida on October 11th of 2025 at approximately 11:54 a.m. This Dollar General is approximately 3.5 miles from the Petro gas station and approximately 3.4 miles from the Airbnb location. On October 17th, a search warrant was served on Hall for both his car and phone. On that same day, Hall agreed to speak with the investigators. FDLE Special Agent Rebecca McKenzie and Marion County Sheriff's Office Detective Joseph Miller interviewed Hall. FDLE Special Agent McKenzie read Hall his Miranda warning, and Hall acknowledged his rights and continued to speak with FDLE Special Agent McKenzie and MCSO Detective Miller. Hall repeated his story. Now, guys, just buckle up, because you think you've seen lies from, example, the trial we saw of Nicholas Cassotis, Jim McIntyre? You think you've seen a liar before. Wait till you hear this guy's crap stories. Oh, my word. Sugar Cookie says, gee, I'm back and couldn't be happier. Thank you for being a member for 22 months. Okay, so Hall repeated his story that he initially relayed to the FDLE on October 13th and 14th, which was that he never met Sonia Exelby and he only spoke with her over the telephone when she requested his assistance due to the mechanical breakdown of her car. That's how dumb he thinks police are, and everybody. He confirmed having a roadside assistance company, Solver Wolf RSA, in which he drives around and helps people with general light vehicle repair and service. Now, I looked up that company. It does exist, of course, and there are Yelp reviews. Now, I don't know if YouTube allows one to show like Yelp reviews. I think they've had issues with that before. So I'm going to relay to you how odd it is that all the men, majority of his positive reviews, 5 stars, saying what a gentleman, what a nice guy, that's all men reviewing his services. There are so many women who say things like, there's a Jessica that said things, March 14th of 2024, that says, this guy was so rude for absolutely no reason. I told my warranty company not to send him to me again. He seems like someone who can become irate and aggressive easily. He spoke aggressively over everything, including a single text that I sent inquiring about the timing of the service. As someone who has worked in mental health for several years and has a history of DV victimization, I was not comfortable being around this guy at all. Whoa, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of 5-star reviews, but there's also some 1 stars, and they are ironically from women. So it seems like in general, I'm just guessing now, I'm speculating based on these reviews. Oh, so you treated men and women differently, huh? Well, you can see that. We can see that. Okay, so here we go. Hall was asked where he was when he received a telephone call from Sonia Exelby, to which he stated, oh, he was at another location in Reddick, Florida. He went on to state that it was for a high-profile client who provided a name of Harold. See, this Harold is the Jim McIntyre of this case. If you watch the Nicholas Cassotis trial with us, you'll know what I'm referring to. If not, I'll fill you in real quick. That defendant, now a convicted killer, made up an entire character to blame everything on, and that character's name was Jim McIntyre. Okay, so this guy is saying, ooh, there's this guy Harold. There's a high-profile client, okay? Harold. And he said Hall stated he did not think that this was his real name. And then he went on to describe him as a Middle Eastern man with white teeth and a big smile, indicating he looked like an average person in the area. He went on to state that Harold had agreed to pay him a large sum of money. You see, Jim McIntyre. Thank you, Joy. All right, so Harold had agreed to pay him a large sum of money, which he eventually stated was $1,200, and made him sign a non-disclosure agreement. Oh, Harold, matching the purchase, the $1,200 that you took from the victim's card. Interesting, but it's Harold's fault, right? Oh, and he also made you sign a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, then. Sure thing. So then it says, Hall drove on Friday, October 10th to 2025 to the Airbnb. He drove there, okay, in Reddick, Florida. He only knew it as a small home located on Redacted, but after talking further, he confirmed it to be the Airbnb based on his description. He believed that Harold was the owner of the Airbnb residence and indicated that Harold let him stay there over the weekend. Oh my word. We have to see this police interview. This is Florida, after all. We might be able to see it, okay? This is the inside of the Airbnb. Okay, so he only knew it as a small home. Yes, okay. He believed Harold was the owner. Ironic. He described being there and being picked up by unknown drivers in random cars. Really? Being picked up by unknown drivers in random cars. They would take him to a large barn, approximately 10 to 15 minutes away, where he would work on cars for Harold. Hall was not allowed to have his phone on him, and he had to leave his car and cell phone at the Airbnb location. He later advised that he snuck his cell phone to the location on the second day, but that he had minimal to no service there. Can you believe this? Yeah, Southern Calibre says, put Harold on the stand. You can already hear me saying that at the trial. Put Harold on the stand. Oh my goodness. When he left the Airbnb on Sunday, October 12th of 2025, he described driving towards his residence in Marion Oaks, but noticed he was being followed. He ultimately pulled off the roadway in a wooded area just south of Southwest Highway 484 and east of Marion Oaks Boulevard. This area is a heavily wooded area of the very front undeveloped part of Marion Oaks. He described waiting there for approximately 1 hour and seeing the car, which had been following him, drive back and forth multiple times. He advised it was silver or gray color, and then indicated it was a mixture of two colors. Oh, now we enter Letitia style, right? Eduardo, the Tiggy one. This guy's making up stories like we have seen, but like we've never seen. That's what I was going to say, but we've seen it. Oh my goodness, like that location where he's telling people, oh yeah, I just pulled over because I was being followed by these random cars. That location where he waited, in the bushes for an hour, just so happens to be the place where Sonia's body was found. Okay. The vehicle drove off. He advised it had dark windows, but he could not tell anything else. Two colors, dark windows, The vehicle drove off and Hall then left and continued to his residence. Once he pulled off, he noticed the vehicle that had been following him pull down the same dirt road. Into the wooded area. Weird, hey? Tracy Smith, thank you for your sticker. You said, Hall is a special kind of stupid in my opinion. You know what? I share your opinion. 100%. This is one very special kind of stupid. Oh my goodness. So Hall was informed of the Airbnb location. Let me just put him there a little bit so you could just see. And let me tell you something. Where they found the victim's body, where he claims to have been hiding out from these cars that he noticed was following him, again, was it Jim McIntyre? At this point, it could be. This jackass literally posted on Facebook November 4th of 2023. It's on his public Facebook page under that name, his name, Dwain Hall. Today's look, happy, back in black, lol, in Marion Oaks, Florida. This guy literally went to this area. He literally is there in Marion Oaks. He's going to these wooded areas in pictures. And then the dumbass goes there and pretends that he's just like suddenly hiding out there. Sure. He also lives around there, but you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Samantha. You said, thanks for all you do. Best mods and Gisela. Okay, so Southern Cali B says, all these stories, stop it. Just wait for it. There's more. There's so much more. Thank you so much. Okay. Hall was informed of the Airbnb location being rented by the victim, Sonia Exelby, and he was questioned further on his truthfulness of the information he provided. Hall then provided another variation of the series of events and stated that on Friday, October 10th of 2025, it was just a regular day for him with a regular number of calls. Oh my, just stop it. These guys that do this, it was a regular day, okay? Totally normal with a regular number of calls. He could not remember specifics unless he could access his records on his phone, but it was easier to see the records on his laptop that he keeps in his house. Harold contacted him by phone and asked him to pick up. So now it's Harold's fault. Harold asked him to pick up the victim, okay, Sonia Exelby, from the Gainesville Regional Airport. He received this direction from Harold through a phone call to his cell phone. Hall did as he was told and picked up Exelby. He attempted to engage her in conversation, but she told him to be quiet because she does not talk to the help. Just stop it. They have 2 years worth of messages between this guy and the victim. Okay? And he's like, this Harold guy that I just made up, the one who owns the Airbnb. Now he's giving me orders to pick this random lady up, okay? And she told me to be quiet. She doesn't talk to the help. Wow. Hall described Exelby, but said he did not know her name. You knew her name in the 2 years of conversation? FDLE Special Agent McKenzie showed a picture of Sonia Exelby, and he positively identified her as the person. Yes, that's the person he picked up from the airport. After Hall picked Exelby up from the airport, he drove her to the Airbnb located at. He claimed he received this address from Harold. Once there, is he calling Uncle Google Harold? I don't know. Once there, Hall claimed Exelby exited his vehicle, embraced a man, and left with him in a car. Hall remained at the Airbnb from October 10th until he left the morning of October 12th. He never saw Sonia Exelby again. He confirmed working on cars for Harold as previously described, but the Airbnb was booked in Sonia's name. But he's making as if Harold owns it, that he got to stay there, and Harold told him to pick up the victim, and then when he did and took the victim to this Airbnb, no, what happened then was some random other person embraced her and took her away, and he never saw her again, but he got to stay in the Airbnb, even though he has a wife at home, okay? This guy has a wife who is ill at home. Yeah, Stefan says, I really want to see that interrogation video. Grizzly Cat and I are really going to work on it. I want to see that too. Because this is Florida. Sometimes they would, release things like this. Like we saw with Stefan Stearns, hey? Other states, not so much. But Florida, yeah, okay. So let me not lose my place here. Wait. Services. Okay, wait. I lost my place for a second. He remained at the Airbnb. He never saw Exelby again. He confirmed working on cars for Harold as previously described. At the conclusion of his day on Saturday, while at the barn, there's a random barn, okay? Located at the unknown location where the cars were, he heard an argument outside. He was then approached by Harold's driver and told his services were no longer needed. Hall was provided a ride back to the Airbnb and told that he could stay the night. Harold then called him on the phone and paid him with a credit card for the $1,200 that they had agreed upon. This is the transaction which was determined through financial records to have ultimately come from the victim's account. When asked about the phone calls and messages from Harold, Hall said that all of his phone calls and texts from the time periods that he was asked about had disappeared from his phone. Whoops, did a good old factory reset? He advised that all the GPS data in his phone did not register when he was at the unknown barn area. Stop it, just stop it. Wow. All the GPS data in his phone did not register when he was at the unknown barn area working for Harold. He had also mentioned that he had the Life 360 application on his phone, which tracked his movements, but he indicated that it would not have shown him going to this barn either. Hall then changed his statement further and said that Exelby was at the Airbnb, but that he was never there the same time as her. Oh, see, now they're getting somewhere. They're like, okay, so she was at the Airbnb, the victim, Yeah, she was, but we were not there at the same time. Right, let's see him try and explain this. Effie Echoes, thank you for being a member for 24 months. You said movie logic stories, reality can find anyone. yeah, this is Casodus level, hey, or worse. So then it says after being confronted with the knowledge that law enforcement knew that she stayed in the Airbnb as well, Dwain Hall admitted then that he knew her and her name was Sonia. He also admitted that Exelby did stay at the Airbnb. He claimed that she initiated sex with him the night of October 10th, and that while he did have sex with her, he didn't want to because he felt bad about his wife, who he loves. Oh, this guy is absolutely disgusting. Now again, trigger warning, it gets gross, okay? Hall ejaculated once and did not use a condom. Hall said he did grab the victim around the throat for light bondage, but offered that he did not use any ropes. Well, he just purchased a whole bunch from Walmart, but okay. Hall was also asked about the rope that he purchased from Walmart, packaging found discarded at the Airbnb, and he stated that he did unravel it in the Airbnb, thought about using it, but ultimately did not use it. Now, I think that was your brain, dude. I don't think it was the rope, your brain didn't use it at all. Hall said that during that weekend, he had sex with the victim one additional time at the Airbnb. He described the sex as vanilla for him. Oh, geez, bro. Really? So the shovel, the rope, the loom spray, deodorant from Walmart, all the shady things you bought, which later includes a tarp. Oh, that's too vanilla for you? Oh. All the fetish sites you visit where you target these people, these victims. Who knows if there's more victims? Still an active investigation. Too vanilla for you, huh? Wow. Well, don't worry. Prison won't be so vanilla. Hall was confronted with the receipts of the purchases on October 10th from the Walmart in Gainesville, Florida. He then remembered that then he suddenly remembered. He remembered that he did go to Gainesville and run errands. He admitted purchasing the items on the receipts to include the shovel with the green handle. He told Special Agent McKenzie and MCSO Detective Miller that the shovel was in his garage, located at, redacted. A shovel matching the shovel that he purchased from Walmart was later recovered in his garage during a search of his residence subsequent to a search warrant. Additionally, another one of the items on a receipt recovered from the Airbnb was a cleaner that Hall stated he purchased to clean a gun that he carried in his car. He said the gun belonged to his wife, but that it was his favorite and he took it everywhere. Hall said that he had not shot the gun in 18 months, but did clean the gun in his vehicle while he was at the Airbnb because it was getting some rust on it. Okay. So now tell us what you did 18 months ago then, is where my brain goes. A firearm and gun cleaner were later recovered from Hall's vehicle during a search of his vehicle subsequent to a search warrant. Also, later in this document, it tells us that there's a label from the shovel that was found with the victim's body. So this guy is on surveillance, buying a shovel at Walmart and other things, but buying a shovel on its own with his bank account. Full surveillance before picking up the victim, later buries the victim's body close to his home, an area that he frequents, and with the label or sticker or something from the shovel? Wow. Pat, thank you for being a member for 28 months. You said he's very creepy. Very. You said justice for Sonia. Oh my word. Okay, so Hall admitted to communicating with Sonia online beginning approximately 2 years ago, and they discussed bondage, self-deletion, and her desire to have someone kill her. They initially met on motherless.com, and I will tell you right now, do not type that in, okay? I took one for the team. You do not need to go and look at that. You will have to bleach your eyes if you do, okay? It's a lot of, it's PORN, and he claims to have met there. I am not that sure that I believe him. I think this type of guy would target people on Discord, Facebook, Snapchat, wherever, social media. But okay, he's saying that, sure. They initially met there, which is a fetish website. Hall's screen or profile name was, just wait for it, alpha sadist. Yeah. Wow, look at this. Alpha sadist. No, I don't think so. Call yourself that in prison, okay? Do it now in jail already. Tell everyone what your name is. Alpha sadist. Go ahead. Hall admitted to taking a video of the victim with his cell phone during the weekend of October 10th through 12th of 2025, but that she was not behaving right, so he deleted it. During a search of Hall's phone, FDLE was able to locate the video that Hall recorded on October 11th of 2025. Remember, he deleted it, they located it. Hall deleted the video 3 seconds after recording it. The video was later recovered from the local DCIM cache folder on his cell phone subsequent to a search warrant. That's where the digital forensics guys are coming in, right? Rexy Dragon Lover says, we Floridians do not claim him. He must have come from out of state. He was, okay, sorry, I'm so sorry, Ohio, but he was born in Ohio. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm very sorry. Oh no, everybody from Ohio is upset right now. Okay, thank you so much for your support. Now it says the video, and again, trigger warning, it's upsetting, it's distressing to hear about, okay? He took video of the victim before he murdered her. And it's sad to hear how she was. The video is 4 minutes and 16 seconds long. The video only shows Exelby, that's Sonia, the victim, but Hall's voice is heard as he asks her questions and directs her. Do you guys remember the case of Brian Smith? The alleged serial killer. I mean, he was charged with 2 murders, but he's suspected of many more. He came from South Africa, went to Alaska. Do you remember that guy's recordings that they had? It just reminds me of him. This is a sadist. But okay, so it says, his voice is heard as he asks her questions and directs her. The victim's sitting on a piece of furniture in the Airbnb. She is disheveled and is wearing the same dress she was wearing at the London Heathrow airport. The victim has multiple bruises or abrasions to her face and neck, as well as patterned abrasions to her breasts. Hall asks her to tell him why she's here. She responds, because I'm an awful person. Hall asks her why she's an awful person, and she responds, I've crushed everyone who ever loves me. She goes on to speak about other reasons that she believes she's an awful person and is visibly upset with tears in her eyes. As she is talking about this, Hall asks her how. So she's at her most vulnerable. And this guy pushes and pushes, coerces, controls, exploits, sexually assaults, and allegedly he kills her. Okay? As she's talking about this, Hall asks her how she want to die and describe it, and she does not answer. And then he asks her what she has been consenting to hear today. She asks him hesitantly if he means about the way that he's talked about killing her. Hall asks her about what treatment she consents to beforehand. She hesitates and then tells him to be stabbed. Hall goes on to ask Exelby about her treatment the last day or two, and she seems confused and then tells him that she doesn't remember because they've talked about so many different ways. Hall then asks Exelby about her face. She responds, "You've beaten me." He asks her if that is what she asked for. She does not immediately respond, but then says, "I guess," literally speaking. Hall asks her if she's being forced or coerced. Again, she does not immediately respond. And when she does respond, she only shakes her head no. Hall says, "This is how you wanted to die, right? You wanted to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece of shit." You see that really pisses me off. Because she feels terrible about herself. Her self-esteem could not be lower. She is so depressed. She is ideating things. She is in this very vulnerable situation. And he is just piling on because he gets off on it. This is a fantasy to him. This is her nightmare. Exelby, the victim, begins to nod and then and Hall then orders her to say it. She complies and says, I needed to be beaten and suffer because I'm such a piece of shit. Hall then tells her, good, good. He asks her again if she's being forced, and she shakes her head no. He then asks her if she's happy and getting what she wants. She nods her head. Throughout the conversation, she's subdued, rarely looks up towards the camera where Hall would be positioned, becomes visibly upset with tears in her eyes, exhales deeply, swallows hard, and is very hesitant to answer Hall's questions. Biba Mora says, this guy is so creepy, I can't imagine her terror. Thank you, GN Mods. Oh, thank you so much, yes. Hillary says he's straight from the pits of hell. Yeah, this guy is so sadistic. Now, during the interview Hall shared with investigators, he literally shared with investigators that he used to have violent tendencies. Do tell us more about that. What do you mean? Oh yeah, used to. Used to. You're accused of first-degree murder. There's everything pointing to that you murdered this victim. You groomed her, you targeted her online, groomed her, exploited her vulnerabilities, all of that. Lured her, baited her, the thing, all of that, and then murdered her. And you're like, yeah, I used to have violent tendencies. Used to. There's no past tense for this. He discussed helping her with her plans, but then said that he wasn't interested in any of it after his wife fell ill. He claimed that when his wife fell ill in August, all those violent tendencies went away. I think it's the exact opposite. In studying a lot of these types of cases, you know, the MOs of these types of predators and killers, I don't think so. I think when your wife fell ill, your violent tendencies went up. What do you guys think? Hall indicated that he was the last person to see the victim alive. He said if he were to help her, now listen to how he would help her. He would have taken her to Alligator Alley, and she could just walk in any direction to encounter wildlife that would have taken care of her. When questioned if the victim walking into the Everglades would be violent enough for her, he said he would take care of that ahead of time. He motioned with his hands as though he would use his hands to exact violence on her. Hall eventually states to investigators that he is either a suspect or not. Yeah, dumbass. You are. Prime suspect. Special Agent McKenzie asks him, a suspect in what though? That's the question. And Hall asks, if you end a person's life, isn't that murder? Wow, really a special kind of stupid, this one. Discussion ensues where Hall asks investigators about legal consequences and possible charges, you know, based on the circumstances. Because he claims he helped. During the interview, MCSO Detective Miller asks Hall, what would Hall tell Exelby's family? He responds that he would tell them that the last time he saw her, she was happy because she was going to get what she wanted. Again, he's projecting. I think he was happy because he got what he wanted. Hall claimed responsibility for the victim being in a good place for the past few weeks because he helped her change her daily life. He also stated he knows what it's like to live with depression like that, referring to the victim. I can't, the rage in me, the snark tank. Oh my goodness. So he claims to not only know what it's like, clearly not dumbass, but he says he knows what it's like, okay? And on top of that, claims that he bettered the victim's daily life for the past few weeks. Earth to dumbass over here. If you helping someone, it does not end in murdering them, okay? That is the opposite. Complete opposite. It is vile what he did. It is for him, just like a serial killer, a sexual fetish. It's power, it's control, it's victimizing someone and exploiting their vulnerabilities. So please, dude, just shut up. Okay, anyway, moving on. Hall said that he did not know what happened to the victim. He last saw her Saturday night when she got into a... Now, here we go again. I'm telling you, Letitia Stark making up cars. This guy. She got into a tan Cadillac Eldorado with an unknown person. We got more cars and made up people. More made up cars and made up people. He described the vehicle as being quiet, but could not describe it further. During the interview, Marion County Sheriff's Office Intel personnel conducted a search of license plate readers and could not locate any signs of the Cadillac Eldorado within the last 3 months in the area. The interview continues, but eventually Hall requests to end the interview after being told that the woods where he told investigators he parked for an hour on the morning of October 12th of 2025 because of being followed is being searched. Oh, then he wants to end the interview, right? Mandy says it's so scary that there are people like this out there, right? And that is why I want to highlight the case. Because it is a reality. There are people, maybe people, especially in vulnerable states, would not consider that somebody could be this evil. That they would like reach out and kind of be a friend and kind of help out and then completely turn on you. To the point where they'll kill you for their own sexual pleasure and sadism. Yeah, it's very scary, right? Okay, so, you know, and maybe he had more freedom of movement at this time of his life. Who knows what he did before? I don't know when he met his wife. But if he's saying, yeah, when his wife got ill, you know, that's when just everything, he was just not interested in these plans anymore. Liar. I think you were very much more interested because your wife is now technically incapacitated. I'm not sure what her illness is. There is a Facebook page that she's got as well. But yeah, you've got more freedom to move around, huh? Wow. I'm sure there's more to the story as well. The interview continues, but he requests to end it right after they say, we're actually searching the woods where you said you were hiding. Hall was arrested initially for credit card fraud and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, if we look at this final slide here, this one actually, initially, see felony fraudulent use of credit card, and then it says on the 18th of November of 2025, dropped or abandoned. And then as well, on the 18th of November, the other one, unlawful use of two-way communication device, that was dropped or abandoned. So I'm not too sure why those two charges were dropped, but no worries because they charged him with first kidnapping and murder in the first degree, as you can see there. Okay, he's next going to be in court on December, wait, let me just check, November 19th. I think he's next in court on December 23rd. Okay, so kidnapping, murder in the first degree in Florida. That is hectic, right? Okay, so Jackie, thank you so much for your €6 sticker. Punkographer, Gopher, did I say that right? If this guy wasn't a vicious murderer, you'd think he could be a screenwriter or book author with all these stories, right? My goodness, he makes up a lot of stories. Now here we go with more excuses that he comes up with. We're on page 8 out of 13, by the way. Later, Hall requests to re-engage, and FDLE Special Agent McKenzie and MCSO Detective Miller return to the interview room. Hall is reread his Miranda warning by FDLE Special Agent McKenzie, and Hall is adamant that he wants to talk to investigators. Hall says to the investigators that he wants to tell the truth and recant. He met Sonia on motherless.com about 2 years ago, and that he started mentoring her. Dude, the word for that, hello, is grooming. Grooming her, okay? Let's get the phraseology right. He's like, oh, I just started mentoring her? Sure you did. Hall went on to say that he wanted to make Sonia's life better and that he didn't want her to kill herself. Right, because you wanted to kill her. Like, what the hell, man? According to Hall, during their communications, the victim told him that other people had either fallen in love with her or chickened out and couldn't help her. Within the past year, the victim offered to help Hall with money that he owed to the IRS. Hall said he would accept the help, and from there he continued to mentor her, and she seemed to be getting better. While this was happening, Hall's wife became very sick. The victim and Hall worked out a cover story, which was the story that Hall initially told investigators. He says the victim wanted this cover story and was insistent that Hall stick to it because she didn't want to be a burden to him in the process of her getting her needs met. He just wanted to help her, and he's going to keep his promise to her. He didn't want to be, she, the victim, didn't want to be disturbed anymore, and he was going to keep that promise. Wow, what a stand-up guy. Hall stated that after the victim came here, she wanted it to be it and not disturbed. She wanted it to be done and over. Later, Hall stated that she did not want to be found, and he can't tell investigators where she is because, of the promise. Yeah, there we go. Ginger Snap Aruni said mentored equals manipulated. Yeah, groomed, manipulated. coerced, controlled, abused, brainwashed, gaslit, probably all those things, right? Hall said that, oh, and again, he's keeping promises here, so he can't tell investigators where her body is. Hall said that the victim may have some bruises from the sex, but it was at her insistence. Sure, buddy. Her front and back, face and breasts were smacked, he said. Hall said that the victim made it very clear that she wanted rough sex. When asked about a safe word, he said that she did not want a safe word because of her situation. A safe word is pre-agreed on and typically used when consenting partners engage in BDSM sex. This allows the partner to stop the activity immediately if they choose. Hall said he did not need a safe word, but he would know when to stop. He did not need a safe word. Yeah, obviously, because you're a alleged killer. Okay, if the partner flinches or pulls away, it is cause for immediate stop. Hall was asked if the victim ever did anything that indicated that she had changed her mind. He responded no. He said that the victim got upset with him because he did not want to participate in bondage with her. He knew this because her demeanor changed. He victim blames a lot, hey? Hall was asked where her property was. He said that he wouldn't know where it was now, and then said most of it was donated. He said that he put it in a clothing box and donated it. He believes he did this on Sunday, October 12th of 2025, because of course the poor victim arrived with bags. She had a purse, she had a bag to travel, clothing, makeup, toiletries, you know what I mean? And this guy's like telling the police, oh yeah, I donated that. Hall said he put it in a clothing box and donated it. He believes he did this on Sunday, October 12th of 2025. He said he donated a nondescript black bag with possibly makeup and other clothing. Later, FDLE was provided with a better description of the bag by family. Hall thought by donating the items, they would be put to good use. Because again, he's such a nice, charitable guy who keeps promises and just helps people, okay? The clothing box was green. Hall thought, okay, yeah. The clothing box was green and white and located somewhere in Gainesville, Florida. Hall stated that the victim didn't do what she was supposed to do. Now, here we go. Now we're getting to the catalyst of a motive. I think he's already, in my opinion, a groomer, a predator, a sexual sadist, and a killer. Okay? But here, look what really pissed him off. Why did he get so pissed off? Okay, here you go. He stated that the victim didn't do what she was supposed to do, which was bring him $4,000 US in cash to help him pay his IRS debt. She did not bring him cash, and he was upset. Oh. She gave him her card to charge, but he was ultimately only able to get $1,200. He confirmed it declined multiple times. He was supposed to help her, and she was supposed to help him by bringing cash. Like, this guy. He's like, you know what? How dare you? I'm here ready to help you. No longer be part of this planet. But you give me money. You didn't hold up your end of the bargain. He gets pissed off. Like, really? I mean, yeah, he sounds really unhinged. So it says she didn't bring cash, nor did she have enough to pay him $4,000 with her bank card. Same. I mean, she paid for the flight, for the Airbnb, for the transport, and gave him $1,200 in her most vulnerable state. And this guy's pissed off because he didn't get enough money? At the time of the interview, based on Hall's phone records, Marion County Sheriff's Office field force members were conducting a search of the wooded area surrounding Southwest 30th Terrace and Southwest 27th Circle in Marion County, which is also the area where Hall had described hiding from the alleged car that had been following him during his first few versions of his series of events. The field force members located an area of disturbed soil that was large enough to contain a body, and the affected soil was a different, lighter color than the rest around. This was considered a possible burial site. Cadaver dogs responded to the possible burial site and ultimately alerted on the area of the suspected grave. The ravens of the world, right? Raven, cadaver dog. If you saw that interview recently, you know who Raven is, right? So the suspected grave was exhumed and human remains were found. These remains were later identified through fingerprint comparison as being Sonia Exelby. During the exhumation, a label for a shovel matching the one purchased by Hall was located in the grave. Oh my goodness. The same type of shovel was located in Hall's garage with dirt on it, which is the shovel that Hall told investigators he purchased from Walmart. The shovel was later submitted to FDLE's Jacksonville laboratory for processing. There was reddish-brown staining found on the handle of the shovel. Using a color change test, the handle of the shovel gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. DNA results were obtained, and DNA results from the shovel handle demonstrated the presence of a mixture of at least 2 donors, including at least 1 male contributor. A complete DNA profile for the major contributor could be determined and is suitable for comparisons. We don't often see that. This could be determined. This major DNA profile matches the DNA profile from the victim. The observed major DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more likely to occur if the sample originated from the victim than if it originated from an unrelated individual. Additionally, a latent fingerprint present on the shovel handle was compared and identified with the exemplars bearing the name Dwain Hall. On October 18th of 2025, an autopsy was conducted on the body of the victim, and the medical examiner determined the cause of death was 4 sharp injuries, likely caused by a knife, and the manner of death was homicide. On October 18th of 2025, FDLE canvassed the southwest part of Gainesville to look for donation bins. A green and white donation bin was located, and the owner of the company was contacted. The donation bins had recently been emptied into a large truck that was currently in Tampa, Florida. The truck had not yet been emptied. On October 19th of 2025, with consent, the FDLE searched the truck, and they located a bag that fit the description of Sonia Exelby's bag. This bag was submitted to FDLE's Jacksonville laboratory for processing. DNA was obtained from the zipper tags of the bag. The DNA results obtained from Exelby's bag demonstrated the presence of a mixture consistent with 2 donors, including at least 1 male contributor. Exelby is included as a possible contributor to the mixed DNA profile. The observed mixed DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more likely to occur if the sample originated from the victim and 1 unrelated individual than if it originated from 2 unrelated individuals. Hall is included. We don't see that often. Maybe they say sometimes, well, it could not be determined, could not be excluded. Hall, this guy, is included as a possible contributor to the mixed DNA profile. He might as well plead guilty right now. You're going down, bro. They have so much evidence against him. Wow, the observed mixed DNA profile is approximately 72 million times more likely to occur if the sample originated from the defendant, Dwain Hall, and 1 unrelated individual than if it originated from 2 unrelated individuals. Yeah, thank you so much, Stefan. FDLE's Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Hall's phone records show him leaving the Airbnb. Now we get to phone records. You see, they already have so much. They got surveillance. They got him at Walmart. They've got him buying all sorts of things. He's admitting things, asking very strange questions to the police about, well, is it murder if you kill someone? Yeah. And now we get to cell phone data. Okay, so his phone records show him leaving the Airbnb on the morning of October 12th of 2025. He then drives to a Lowe's store located in Florida, where he then purchases a tarp. Oh my goodness. So after murdering the victim, now he's buying a tarp. This is verified by surveillance video and financial records. Hall parks his vehicle in the parking lot and appears to talk with someone in the passenger seat prior to entering the store. Now, who's that? Who did he take along? Who's that? Anyway, Hall's vehicle is not close enough to see into the vehicle clearly, but it appears that there's someone in the front passenger seat of the vehicle and they are moving around while Hall is in Lowe's. Now, the last time the victim was seen was October 12th. This is on that day. Could have been the victim in the car. I don't know, but that's even more scary. Tell me what you think about this. He's going to Lowe's first thing in the morning, leaving the Airbnb, buying a tarp. That's scary, okay? He then drives to the Dunkin' Donuts in Ocala, Florida, where he purchases a drink, utilizing the drive-thru. This is verified by surveillance footage and financial records. It's not clear if there was a passenger in his vehicle at this time. Okay. After leaving Dunkin' Donuts, he drives to the area where the victim's body was later found by law enforcement on October 17th of 2025. Yeah, Southern Calibre said it was Harold, G, right? Stefan says, that's Harold. He's probably going to say that, isn't he? It just sounds scary. It makes me wonder if the victim was in the vehicle with him at that time and if he took her out to that wooded area. I don't know. But it all sounds very scary. And if there's someone else in the car, if it wasn't the victim, who was it and what do they know? But it does sound like it was her, right? Okay, so now they go to the wooded area, right? So let me read the sentence again. After leaving Dunkin' Donuts, he drives to the area of where the victim's body was later found by law enforcement on October 17th of 2025. He's in this area for approximately an hour. He then leaves and drives to Gainesville. He stops at the Circle K gas station located at Archer Road and makes a purchase. This is verified by financial records and surveillance footage. Surveillance shows that while he's there, Hall throws something on the ground from the back of his vehicle and throws multiple items into the garbage bin from the passenger seat of his vehicle. He then drives to the area of Kohl's located at, redacted in Gainesville, Florida. FDLE canvassed the area, and in the parking lot of the Kohl's was a green and white clothing donation bin. Court locus said, I hate murderers who can actually eat in between their morbid shenanigans, right? Thanks for being a member for 10 months. Yeah. Okay, so on October 27th of 2025, during a jail phone call with his wife, I just redacted her first name, Dwain Hall tells her that Rick will be sending her a package in 6 months. Oh, your calls will be recorded. Does he not hear that? Oh, your calls are recorded. He's like, hello, wifey. I'm just letting you know. You know, Rick, our friend, he's going to send you a package in 6 months from now. Like, he was arrested on October 17th. Hello, 10 days later, he's like, listen, wifey, just letting you know, Rick. What now? Just wait till you hear what it is. I told you earlier. If you were here earlier, you know. Okay, so it says, Rick is friends with Hall and they communicate with one another regularly through Facebook. Rick has a profile name on Facebook as well, which I just redacted. According to his wife, this guy's been communicating with her through Facebook as well, the friend. According to records, he lives in Ohio. So that would be probably someone, right? We're going to get to that now, but that this guy knew from a young age, or, you know, because this guy's from Ohio originally. And this friend that he speaks to on Facebook is also from Ohio. Okay. Now, on October 31st of 2025, FDLE Special Agent McKinsey and MCSO Detective Miller interviewed a source who reported, well done source, okay, for reporting this, okay, reported to have information regarding Hall. The source provided information during that interview that was credible and unknown to the public. The source believed that Hall killed someone, and the victim of the homicide was a woman in her 30s from the UK. Hall told him that he helped her die because she couldn't do it herself. Hall was confident that he would get away with it, and these are the reasons I told you earlier. He'll say, because law enforcement only had cell phone records placing him at the scene. Law enforcement did not know where she died, and law enforcement did not have the weapon. Well, because you're such a dumbass, they do now. The source believed that she was stabbed because the source asked Hall if he shot her, and Hall told him no. He then asked Hall if he put a bag over her head, and Hall said no. Hall then told the source that it was harder to do than he thought. This information led the source to believe that Hall stabbed her. During the interview, the source also stated that Hall told the source that Hall had contingency plans. What, a flight to Vietnam? Like Matthew Paul, Donna Adelson. What's your contingency plan? In case law enforcement began to close in on him as a suspect, Hall mentioned he had a friend who would help him if he needed, but did not provide the friend's name. Just say it out loud now, Dwain. His name is Harold. Or Jim McIntyre. On October 31st, 2025, the FDLE reviewed Facebook messages between Hall and this friend. Below are summaries, so Rick is the friend, okay? Below are summaries and direct quotes of their communications that were deemed pertinent to the investigation into the kidnapping and homicide of the victim. On October 12th of 2025 at 10:46 p.m., it says UTC +1, the friend reaches out to Hall saying, "How's life?" Hall and the friend message each other back and forth about life. On October 13th, Hall tells the friend that he needs his address again. He goes on to ask for the correct spelling of his last name. He tells him that his phone may be tapped and might be a big storm coming for me. Well, at least he was right about that. At least he's got a little bit of gut instinct. A very little brain, but he's got gut instinct at least. He's like, there could be a big storm coming for me. Okay, so you know what you did is very, very wrong and you were not helping her. Do you know what I mean? And there is no such thing as helping in this context at all. Okay, just to make that clear for anyone who thinks they can help someone. Don't do that. It's murder. Lou said, this guy is the worst. I know, right? Thank you so much for being a member for 35 months. Yeah, Wu-Tang Alex said, a friend called Harold. D said, I wouldn't, but can you imagine being this guy's public defender? Oh, they're gonna be busy. They're shame. They're gonna have to repeat all these Harold stories and all that, hey? Sir Bolden said, this guy needs to call Pablo. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he says there might be a big storm coming for me. That's on October 13th, a day after the murder, based on the timeline. Okay, there are also 2 chat messages that are deleted by the friend that was sent by Hall. Those messages occurred just prior to a message sent from Hall to the friend on October 13th of 2025 that stated, delete that. Oh, you're telling your friend to delete things. Okay. On October 14th of 2025, Hall mailed the friend a package from UPS, the United Parcel Services, UPS, from a store located in Ocala, Florida, and sent to Ohio to this friend's physical address, okay, to be delivered on October 16th of 2025. The package weighed 1 pound, 11 ounces, and was reported to UPS being worth $500. On October 14th of 2025, Hall reaches out to the friend through Facebook and appears to send a picture of something to him, but the image has been deleted from the conversation thread. Hall tells the friend, we'll need this back in 6 months if this storm passes over, with no lingering fallout. This is before he's even arrested, okay? A few days before. He said, please, for the love of shadows, don't lose this box. There's no need to even open it. These are very precious and valuable personal items. Okay, sounding like a freaking serial killer. Wait for it. The friend responds, should I bury it in the yard? Lol. And then, I'm joking, I'll keep your stuff safe. Hall then tells the friend, thanks man, I appreciate it. Just make sure you message his wife and ask her about the return in 6 months, just in case the storm is as bad as expected. Hall and the friend continue to communicate through Facebook with one another, and the friend asks him if this is about child support. I don't know if he has a child or not. I think his wife has a child. It looks like it could be from another guy, which I also found on Facebook, but the point is, I don't know. But the friend says, is this about child support? And Hall says to the friend that he can't say. And the friend responds, the friend says some dodgy things, okay? Which again, if you studied the Brian Smith case with me, you'll know. That guy also had a friend who said some weird things. This friend says, this why shouldn't do dirty by yourself. Always bring your guard badger. Hall then tells the friend, lol, right? And then, don't think the guard badger would have done any good in this instance. The friend responds to Hall, well, if I think it's stupid, you know it must be insanely stupid. And Hall says, yep. Okay, at least he admits he's very dumb. Put that friend on the stand. And then says, admit it. Now this is very dodgy. Whoa, friend, what are you saying? What are you saying? If somebody's like, can I send you a box? Huh? It's very, very precious. Could be a big storm coming for me. Don't accept the box. Block the person. If you get the box, throw it away immediately. What the heck is going on here? This friend is like, sure, give it to me. I'll bury it in the backyard. Not so funny now, is it? The friend says to Dwain, admit it. We get caught way less when I'm with you. And Hall responds, lol, indeed. Care red flags flying everywhere. What did you guys get up to before? Alicia K. Mayo says, for the love of shadows. Well, for the love of dirt and worms, I hope the prosecution gets a guilty verdict. Me too. I think they will. If this guy takes it to trial, which he probably will. Wow. Okay, so on October 16th of 2025, a day before he got arrested, the friend sends Hall a Facebook message saying, check what time your stuff's supposed to get here. Hall replies, I can't check it right now. Why? What's going on? The friend tells Hall, nothing. I'm just going to the grocery store, trying not to miss the UPS guy. And Hall replies, okay. The friend sends Hall another message stating, you're jumpy. And another one right after, why you like long tail cat on room full of rocking chairs? Okay. Hall replies, mostly because that box contains 2 of my most prized possessions. And I really don't trust the mail system. UPS is usually okay though. Hall then sends another message that says, I feel strangely naked without them. To which the friend responds, I get it. And then asks Hall, so how do I help you to un-F yourself out of whatever mess you're in? And Hall tells him, I don't know. Because I don't know what kind of mess it is yet. For now, just hold on to the box. If anybody asks about the box that isn't the wife of Dwain, it doesn't exist. The friend then tells him, okay, and Hall replies, thanks, man. I always knew I could count on you. Later, on October 16th of 2025, the friend reaches back out to Hall through Facebook and says, I got a box, but it looks like a Walmart order, and with an image that was later deleted. Hall replies, lol, I know best way to secretly send something. Bro, you know the best way to expedite yourself straight to a guilty verdict in prison. He literally put his most prized possession, which is a knife, by the way, which he used to stab the victim based on the DNA evidence we're about to go over. Okay, so he's posting the murder weapon to his friend in a Walmart box. Like, this is next level. Whoa, like, can you imagine? Wow. Yeah, Pikachu said he sounds like a seasoned cereal, right? Okay, so it says, later, on October 16th of 2025, the friend reaches back out to Hall through Facebook and says, yeah, I got a box, but it looks like a Walmart order. And then he says, I know I just secretly sent something. The friend asks Hall, okay, should I open it or no? And Hall responds, you can, just don't lose or misplace the contents. Oh, and beware of the sterling silver. And then probably a good pound of that is the silver. The friend then tells Hall, okay, not opening it. And Hall replies, lol, okay. The package was confirmed delivered on October 16th of 2025. FDLE, with the assistance of Washington County Sheriff's Office in Ohio, served a search warrant on the home of the friend. Oh, you found that friend real quick, huh? FDLE interviewed the friend, and the friend suddenly was clearly very scared and said, he confirmed that he received a package from Hall on the 16th. And the friend said there was an engraved knife, wow, and sheath that he purchased for Hall, as well as a bracelet in the packaging. The friend burned the packaging and sewed the knife sheath and the bracelet into a small black fabric bag. Oh, that's not quite the same as not opening the box now, is it? Damn. You're burning the Walmart box? You're dodgy as hell yourself, bro. What are you doing? He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open this up. I'm burning the package. So you know it could be connected to something very, very dodgy. What's going on here? I mean, the friend did tell him, and he may have been nervous, but that's a lot. You burned the packaging and sewed the knife or sheath and bracelet into a small black fabric bag. The friend stated he did handle the items prior to sewing them into the bag. The defense is going to use that. The defense will be using that, okay? The bag was concealed in a drawer in his bedroom. These items were recovered and sent to the FDLE Jacksonville laboratory for processing. Hall's knife is a black cold steel 7-inch Tonto knife. Now, I can't show you that on YouTube. They don't like that. They could take the whole ass video down if you show that. So let's not, but if you wanted to Google it, it's very scary looking. A black cold steel 7-inch. So people who are into knives will probably be like, oh, she says it's scary looking. I just mean give the context, okay? It's a murder weapon. And when I just looked it up, I'm like, damn, oh my word, this guy, that's what his like most prized possession is. The blade is designed for piercing and stabbing. The knife blade was engraved with dork wharf, pointy end, goes in the other guy on the blade. According to the friend, the dork wharf engraving was him making fun of Hall's use of the dark wolf name while online. Well, your friend's calling you a dumbass too, dork wharf. Using what the friend also like, sham, you're gonna be gonna be grilled on the stand. You're gonna be so grilled. The defense is gonna be calling you. Cross-examination is gonna be wild. You better buckle up, right? Like, what is going on here? What did you know? Shame. And if it was just like, ooh, we collect knives and I don't know what. I don't know if it's like small crimes or what they did they, but now it's like, ooh, this is next level. What's the lesson? Do not accept weird packages, especially when people are saying things like this. Using a color change test, Hall's knife gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. A complete DNA profile consistent with the female individual was obtained from Hall's knife. This DNA profile matches the DNA profile from the victim. The observed DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more likely to occur if the sample originated from the victim than if it originated from an unrelated individual. Using a color change test, the bracelet failed to give chemical indications for the presence of blood. The DNA results obtained from the bracelet demonstrated the presence of a mixture consistent with 3 donors, including at least 1 male contributor. The victim is included as a possible contributor to the mixed DNA profile. The observed mixed DNA profile is approximately 130 million times more likely to occur if the sample originated from the victim and 2 unrelated individuals than if it originated from 3 unrelated individuals. Hall is included as a possible contributor to the mixed DNA profile. The observed mixed DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more likely to occur if the sample originated from Hall and 2 unrelated individuals than if it originated from 3 unrelated individuals. Based on the evidence, I have probable cause to arrest Hall for the kidnapping and murder of Sonia Exelby. Hall met the victim online and fostered a mentor-type relationship with her. Hall knew that the victim suffered from severe mental illness and was thinking of self-deleting. He claimed that he wanted to help her and did not want her to die, but his actions show differently. The victim was in a foreign country and extremely vulnerable. The message that the victim sent to a friend showed that Hall was controlling her, that she was afraid, and that she'd made a mistake. Furthermore, Hall told her the only way that she would survive is if she shot him. A firearm was recovered from Hall's vehicle, and he admitted to cleaning it while at the Airbnb. The video of the victim recorded by Hall does not show a mentor who is concerned about her well-being, nor someone who wants to keep her alive. Instead, the video shows a visibly distressed victim in being questioned and directed by an authoritative Hall about her deserving to be beaten and ultimately die violently. Afraid of being caught, Hall made the video in an effort to protect himself from the consequences of kidnapping and murdering Sonia Exelby. Wow, that's very calculated as well to think, ooh, okay, let me make sure that I record her consenting to this. But under these circumstances, no. That's not consent. Okay, so Hall planned to murder the victim. This is evident by the multiple items he purchased, to include rope, gun cleaner, and a shovel, just prior to traveling to the airport to pick her up. The shovel was located in Hall's garage, had his fingerprint and the victim's blood on the handle. A label of the same type shovel was located in the shallow grave where they found her body. The victim was murdered with sharp force injury, likely a knife. Shortly after FDLE reached out to Hall for the first time, he contacted his friend on Facebook and then shipped his knife and sheath and a bracelet, asking him to hold onto it and not tell anyone. The knife was recovered in Ohio and showed the presence of blood. The blood belonged to the victim. the bracelet had both Hall's and the victim's DNA. And that's that, everybody. That's what we have here. So yeah, he was charged with first-degree murder. And if you look here, there's his mugshot. My goodness. And there, next court date is the 23rd of December of 2025. You know, that could always change. You never know with these cases. We recently covered a case where I read through a long PCA as well, where 4 adults starved a girl, and these adults did not miss a meal. And there as well, they were supposed to be in court, and already some of them have been postponed to January. So I'll keep you posted on that one. But this one for now is the 23rd of December of 2025 at 9 a.m. He's supposed to be in court, and yeah, he's charged with kidnapping, first-degree murder. There was also this fraudulent use of cars and unlawful use of the 2 transmission device, but that was, remember, they said on that other little slide I showed you, it's almost like those 2 charges were dropped, the credit card one, because I think they started with that, then they upgraded. So I think, yeah. And then if you look at this one, this document is what, thank you, Grizzly Cat, you're right here. Grizzly Cat says thank you, not thank you for obtaining these documents for us to go through. If you guys want to buy Grizzly Cat a coffee, her link is in my description box. So is the Mod Squad coffee link and mine. There's 3 different coffee sites, okay? Defendant's plea. State of Florida versus Dwain C. Hall. The defendant in the above style cause, through the undersigned attorney and pursuant to the Florida codes, right, waives appearance at arraignment. And upon receipt of a copy of the formal charges, he enters a plea of not guilty, waives reading of the charge, and demands a jury trial. Dumbass. It's fine. Why don't you just get on the stand and tell us your story about Harold? Okay, additionally, the accused, pursuant to this Florida code, respectfully requests this honorable court to grant the defendant 10 days from the receipt of the formal charge within to which to attack the sufficiency of the charge. Oh, it is so sufficient, right? This charge is like, oh my word, the charges he's facing, the evidence they have, wow. I mean, I don't know if I've heard of a stronger case. This is not one where it's like, oh man, we've seen a few cases now. We watched a few trials, circumstantial evidence. No. This is all of it, all the evidence, direct evidence too, like the smoking gun, like you literally have the murder weapon with the Facebook messages that he shipped in a Walmart box to his friend with the victim's DNA on it. Really? You have all the surveillance footage, all these shady purchases, 2 years worth of messages. Oh my goodness. So I think that you guys understand why, if you were here in the beginning, why I had said the following, right? That victim blaming is not appropriate because it can discourage survivors from seeking help if anyone is in that dark mental place where they're ideating things and thinking, you know what, I just deserve the worst as well. Someone should just torture me and just take me out. No, we don't want this to happen to anyone else. And sadly it does, but we don't want it to happen. So education is key. People need to know. We need to share that these predators, they're fishing around online. You know, they will target vulnerable individuals, and one might not think it in that state as well. Shame. If you're struggling so much with mental health and depression and everything, you might not even if you say you want them to do that, often not. As we've seen in many cases, it doesn't. When faced with it, no. Then they're like, I don't want this to happen, right? And this predator, this type, oh my goodness, then the mask is off. And it's just so sad. So yeah, it minimizes mental health challenges. That is, the victims need help, right? And not the kind that people like Dwain Hall is offering. Definitely not. So in this case, remember that no one's mental health struggles justify exploitation or violence, and the responsibility lies with the accused. Predators often exploit the vulnerabilities of victims that they seek out online. To the victims' loved ones, my goal was to share this case respectfully to raise awareness about mental health and online safety. Education is key to help others avoid similar tragedies. And yeah, if you guys have been here for a while on my channel here at Grizzly True Crime, you know I cover a lot of cases like that. This online behavior really scares me. And it happens to so many people, to children. Children are being targeted. There's huge groups. There's sextortion. There's all sorts of online criminal activities going on that it's really, really sad and scary. So I will continue to share cases like this, hoping that it it can save a life or educate someone or help someone, right? Court Lurker, thank you so much. Thank you for that sticker. It says thanks. Thank you for the 199 sticker. Yeah, Facts Matter said some are groomed from childhood. They don't know they're worthy of a better life. Shame, man. Well, everyone, I hope that you're doing okay. This case is very heavy, so make sure you look after your mental health. You know, make sure you do something nice for yourself, whether it's a warm cup of tea or a walk in the sunshine or whatever. I know you guys are all from all over the world, so it might be summer for you. It's winter for me now in Switzerland. So I'm going to go make some rooibos tea and spend time with Mr. Grizzly and the cats and everything. And please look after yourself. Know that you're worth it, no matter how sad you get, right? And please continue to like and share so we can educate people on these cases. Okay, everyone, I'll see you again very soon. Stay safe.